What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, coming to you actually live from New York City. We got the Chrysler building right there, and thankfully the wildfire smoke is gone for now, unless the winds change. We'll see what happens here. We got some crazy stuff going on here right now. Take a listen to this. Kim Jong-un, the president of North Korea, vows to, quote, hold hands with Russian President Putin for strategic cooperation. Yeah. The North Korean leader made the pledge in a message marking Russia's National Day, defending the decision to invade Ukraine and display full support and solidarity. So now Russia and North Korea potentially teaming up. And this comes right after Kim Jong-un orders North Koreans to stop killing themselves after a number of suicides skyrocketed. Yeah, this is unbelievable, right? This is also a lot of people cannot leave North Korea. This is the same thing in Russia. As Russia, you can see here, both North Koreans and, as you can see here, top Russian officials cannot leave the country. Literally dictatorships. They're literally not allowed to leave. So when you see reports of suicides, or when we go back to the previous story of even some of the highest officials, even a member of the Kremlin Guard, fled and risked him and his whole family's life to leave. And he was part of the inner circle next to Putin and could have just kept living there and enjoying the benefits of being part of the inner circle, and decided to risk everything to leave, and literally probably risk the firing squad if he got caught, and decided, no, we would rather risk everything to leave. It really makes you wonder how dangerous the times are there in these countries, right? Yeah, Kim Jong-un banned suicide and called it an act of treason against socialism, per Radio Free Asia. The number of suicides in North Korea is believed to be skyrocketing, the publication said. Kim told local authorities to try to prevent people from doing this to themselves. But how are they going to ban this? Oh, it's banned, don't do it. Or else, well, what's the repercussion going to be? If you off yourself, what other penalty are they going to give you, right? It's just too late. It's some of this stuff is just like, what? You can't even make this stuff up, right? So yeah, if you off yourself, we're going to slap you with severe fines and penalties. Yeah. Well, let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Meanwhile, you can see here China and the Chinese President Xi are making a backup plan in case Russian President Putin dies or gets deposed of. So this is actually something that people are talking about now. Here's the details of this. China's President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin have sought to portray themselves as adamant allies, engaged in a long-standing partnership to roll back against the U.S. But President Xi from China may not be as convinced as he appears that their no-limit partnership will endure, amid rumors that Russian president is suffering from a serious illness or may be deposed of in a coup. According to one analyst, Xi is likely already seeking to form closer relations with potential successors to the Russian president. The Chinese president has been meeting with a couple of the potential successors to Putin, including Russian Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin at the April summit, where Chinese president visited Putin. And the Chinese Prime Minister also met with him. Quote, why was Mishustin invited and not Putin? This cannot have gone down well with the Russian leader. In addition to this, we've had the Wagner Group boss speaking out against Putin almost on a daily basis or every few days now, saying recently here that Russia is at risk of losing the Ukraine war and facing a revolution. Now, some people say that he could cause a revolution himself against Putin. He could be next in line for Putin, or that this could be all part of the plan, as part of Putin's plan, that this just could be, something that they're drumming up, and this is all part of their plan to cause some dissension among the ranks as a diversion. Who knows? But one thing's for sure is that it took them 224 days to just take over one city on the eastern part of Ukraine, and then they lost it a few days later. Literally, is what the Wagner boss said. And that's just one city. That's just one city, and that's, the Wagner group, the mercenary group, which is really a big part of Russia's army, per se. Then they gave it over to the actual Russian army, and then the Russian army lost it within a few days. So, I mean, this goes to show you that Russia's struggling pretty hardcore. And I know that there's some people that think Russia's going to win the war, but if they're going to win the war, and it took them 224 days to take over one city, at least based on their claims, and then they lost it within a few days when the Russian army themselves took over. Really, the mercenary group is a big part of their army. I mean, how could they possibly take over the rest of the country if it took them 224 days just to take over one city? And this is why potentially a lot of the Russian elites are growing pretty wary of Putin's strategy here for the war. Maybe they're just sick of this. So you can let me know your thoughts here, but we'll see. We might see a turn in strategy, and maybe that means ousting Putin one way or another. Maybe a change in leadership. Maybe he goes bye-bye. Maybe not. Maybe they just continue on here for a long time. Let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I'll keep you up to date here. If you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you don't miss out on any new videos. It's completely free to do so. And thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos. Here's some videos you should watch next. The Fed and the Treasury have some big news for Americans, and the IRS is actually warning people. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.